Hey, what's going on, FBA Hustlers? It's your boy Tom, coming back with a special video today. So I met this guy, David, by, I guess just random like Facebook groups or YouTube channels and whatnot. But we kind of kicked things off, and he's been selling on Amazon for 2 years. And in this video, we basically talk about how, I wrote some notes here, so I gotta look, the biggest advice that he has for new sellers. He also talked about some new Amazon tools called Amazon Insights. We talk about the launch strategy. We talk about his Facebook strategies. We talk about influence marketing, and we also talked about motivation and future. And not trying to make this corny or anything, guys, but the reason why I wanted to make this channel is because I wanted to document my journey, helping you guys as well. I think there's a lot of, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think there's a lot of garbage out there these days, a lot of bullshit. A lot of people selling courses, saying that, basically positioning in a way that, hey, take this magic pill and you can quit your job and travel the world for the next, in a month or 2 months through Amazon FBA. I mean, I'm sure there are people that have done it. That's all I'm saying. But it's just a lot of people, they need the right information. And for me, like this month we sold 30 grand, but it's a record breaking month for us. But you know what? I haven't taken a penny out of this business yet. Like, I want to launch more products, and with more products comes more resources. And a lot of I go through some YouTube channels and stuff. I read some like kids, they're leaving comments like, yeah, like I took this course and I quit my job. Yeah, man, what did you do for your job? Were you working like at McDonald's or Subway or something like that? Like, yeah, that's pretty easy to quit. You know what I mean? So just always think about, on the internet, you can be anything you want. And the transparency these days are very, very minimal. There are some people out there that are just, they're there to sell courses for the money. And they're not really there to like help other people. So I'm not going to name any names. Don't get me wrong, guys. I think courses are great. Educations are great. But from the right people. Who are you taking these courses from? If you want to take a course, go ahead. But make sure you ask some other students, not affiliates, but make sure you ask some students about their track record. Did this course actually benefit you? If you were to go back in time, would this course benefit you? But yeah, I mean, that's basically my little rant here. And with this video, without further ado, I'm gonna show you guys the video, and it's a little bit long, but tell me what you guys think. If you guys like videos like this for the future, let me know, and then I'll make more of them. I can interview some bigger sellers. This guy sold $100,000 in 1 month. And he's 20 years old, so lots to learn from, and hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Tom coming back with another video. Today we have a special guest. We have David here. He's I think we just met through randomly through Facebook groups and stuff, and this guy has his own channel as well. And I think we kind of kicked it off, and I invited him to be on the channel because he's been selling on Amazon for quite a little while, and he's been doing quite good at it. So I just wanted to, share his story with you guys in terms of how he got started, what are some of the challenges, where he is today, and maybe even talk about some future stuff as well. So welcome to the show, David.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me, Tom. So a little bit about myself. So I pretty much started selling on Amazon private label back in 2015, but my journey actually started way before that, right? So I'm 20 years old right now. I'm a full-time college student. So it's I'm juggling the business. I'm still a full-time college student, so I got a lot going on. But I pretty much started in my freshman year of high school. I actually used to import from Alibaba way before private label was a thing, right?
Yeah.
I actually started importing generic goods from Alibaba and AliExpress, and then I would just flip them on eBay, right? Because there's a lot of products on eBay, but they were shipped from China, and they were getting shipped to the US, right? But the shipping time was 30 days, right? And most people don't want to wait 30 days to get a little cable or an aux cord, right? So what I would do, I would just go to Alibaba the way most people do it nowadays, contact the supplier and be like, yeah, I want to get 100 units. And then they would they would ship it to me. And then I would kind of sell it here from the United States. And then I would charge premium from the fact that it was coming from the States and people didn't have to pay more. So it's almost like an eBay Prime if you think about it, right?
Right.
And this was back in 2011, 2015. And that's kind of what I did for a while, for about 3 to 4 years. And that helped me save up money to kind of jump in the Amazon private label game. And I started, I launched 15 in December. And that's kind of, I launched quarter 4, so I didn't buy a lot of units because I was new to the game. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I didn't know if my product was a success or was a failure. So I only bought like 500 units, I believe, maybe like 400 units. And I literally sold out in like 4 or 5 days. I did like $10,000 in sales.
Wow.
And killed it and pretty much like doubled my money with that shipment. And from there, that kind of where the journey took off.
Nice. So that kind of gives you the confidence to say this is good for me, and then let's scale down, let's double down, let's like really dive into it. You've been doing this ever since then, right?
Yep.
Nice, man. So talk about like where you are today. Like how many ASINs do you have? How many SKUs? How many brands? How many accounts?
Yeah. So right now, I'm actually selling about 11 ASINs, 11 active ASINs that I have going, and pretty much one sold out. One of my like best sellers is sold out, and especially since it's like coming up quarter 4, just August just ended, September. Sales are kind of slow, but I pretty much have the 11 ASINs, and sales are pretty good. I would say I'm averaging right now on a good day like $1,000 per day, but I'm hoping for that to kind of pick up later down the road once quarter 4 picks up. But it's been like one heck of a journey, just because the thing about Amazon private label is super lucrative, and there's a lot of money to be made, but you just have to do your like research and put up, I like to say 80% of the work before you jump in, right? So like do everything like 80% of the upfront work before you actually jump in. So that usually involves like product research, spending a lot of time doing product research, finding that right product, optimizing your listing, getting the right product photography done, your infographics, your, keyword research, and doing like the 80% upfront. And then the 20%, like it'll pretty much come if you do the 80% correctly. So that's kind of where I'm at. And that's really what I want people to, get from this video, is just to, focus on the 80% of doing the upfront work.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I think building up the foundation is everything. A lot of people, I'm a big advocate for Viral Launch. I just used them a couple times. To me, it's kind of like the hack of getting to the first page, right? But a lot of people kind of ask me like, hey, like I'm going to use Viral Launch, but then their listings like suck shit. So it doesn't matter if you use Viral Launch, you get yourself on the #1 spot. Your conversion rate is going to be awful because 100 people are going to come in your listing, and then they're going to just pick the guy next door because your listing sucks. So that's kind of, I 100% agree with you when you say like build a foundation. Now let me ask you this. In terms of competitive advantages, right? What do you think some of the competitive advantages are there to between you versus the next guy over? So for an example, like copywriting, keyword research, making sure that all your keywords are in there. What do you think some of the pillars of Amazon competitive advantages there are on Amazon?
Right. So definitely, I noticed that I have like a very unique selling proposition to my product. So a lot of people don't, they'll come to Amazon and they'll write in a keyword, and like you look at the first page for any product you're looking for, chances are like you don't know any of those brands, right? Like the last time you bought something, chances are it was a private label product and you've never heard of this brand, right? So people aren't buying on brand. They're pretty much buying, when it comes down to Amazon, on the image and like literally the title and the amount of reviews, right? So I think if you're able to stand out with some type of unique selling proposition, so your product might be different, it might be different with some type of material, or you have it bundled with something that's super relevant to whatever it is you're selling, that's going to help you stand out. But on top of that, you have to make sure that the other stuff, like your images are just as good. Nowadays, everybody, I would say, at least in my product, like the niches I'm in, everyone has like super great images. So even that is really difficult to compete with, because it's like realistically, like how great could your images get eventually? Right. Once everyone has really good images. But then it does come down to title and copy. And I feel like a lot of people don't spend a lot of time on copy, trying to convince people in their bullets or even their title and description, or, their A+ content pages to try and sell the product. Like they'll just tell like the features of the product, but they won't tell like why it's different and why they should buy it. And if you don't really have that unique selling proposition, it's really hard to kind of create a copy that's convincing and to get people to buy that product. So it does, in my opinion, you really do have to look for products that have a unique selling proposition and be able to convince people why that product is better than the competition. And usually you could do that through really good sales copy, and that's usually easily done. Like easy, sales copy could be good if you have a unique selling proposition. If you don't have a unique selling proposition, like your copy can't be that great, in my opinion.
Right. So when you say, I think one of the easiest ways to have that unique selling proposition is by offering like a bundle. I've seen a lot more people doing that nowadays. Do you have any products right now that you are offering as a bundle?
Yeah, actually, one product, the one that I sold out, it wasn't a bundle. It was just like a regular product, just product A, and I had it listed, but it was a unique product. Like it was not a bundle. I just had my own prototypes made. It was like a different design, different shape, and it sold like crazy, right? I mean, I sold out and it was super successful, but I didn't bundle it with anything. But I had like super great. The unique selling proposition was the fact that I got a unique bundle, and it was like the only product on Amazon that looked like that.
Wow. Okay. So talk to us about that then, because I think a lot of people these days they simply, and even for myself, right? I find a product that's selling well, I source it, and then I just kind of make nicer packaging, nicer copywriting than everybody else. That's my unique proposition. But recently I launched a product. It's not a bundle like the ASIN. There's two separate ASINs, but I'm cross promoting each other, and it's been selling like crazy because they're complementary products. But for your case, you have that one unique ASIN, and you're saying that the mold of the product, whatever, is different than everybody else. Can you talk to us how you actually created the mold? Did you have to do like a customized mold with the supplier, or did you just find a really unique supplier that offered that product like no one else has?
Right. So in this case, I was working with the supplier the year before because it's a seasonal summer product, and I sourced a product that a prototype. I wouldn't say a prototype. It was just a product that they already had like created, so I didn't have to pay for new molds or like a new prototype or anything like that. I just sourced it, and then it was a quality product. So I came back this summer. Well, it was actually winter when I was planning this. It was like December. And I'm just like, I know like how Amazon works. I know that this product that I'm selling right now, everyone's going to be selling it next summer, right? So I'm just like, I got to be different and unique. And I didn't even sell that product that made me a killing, the summer before, because I knew it's going to be super saturated. But I knew that that type of niche is just going to be, it's going to get more and more popular, and more people are going to be buying that product. So I'm just like, I gotta stand out. And I reached out to the supplier that I was working for or working with, and they're just like, yeah, no problem. We could get you a prototype for about $2,000. And I'm just like, okay, so I want this product made like this. I want it to be this in this color. And they're just like, that's totally fine. And I paid them the $2,000. And I actually tested the product before I actually like bought it in wholesale. And I think that's one of the best decisions I ever made because,
Wow.
I did pay the $2,000 up front to get the prototype created, but I didn't order like 2,000, 3,000 units of the product. I literally ordered like, I think it was 40 units.
Oh,
I
wow.
ordered 40 units of the product, and then I shipped it into Amazon's warehouse. And this was back in like, I got the prototypes done. It was maybe like, it was end of February, early March when I got them in. And like I said, it was a seasonal product, so it was the summer product, and they sold. They sold out like crazy. I literally had maybe one review on there that I had a friend or family leave, and they sold out. So that kind of like tested the market that I knew that prototype's going to sell. And I don't want, like a lot of people might think that, oh, just because they go out of their way to get a new prototype and they change up the color or the shape of a product, that it's just going to sell because other products that might be similar to that product sell well. That's not really the case. And I think that's an important thing that people have to realize is like when you do get a unique product that's on Amazon, don't jump and, wire your supplier like 50 grand or, 10 grand without testing the market and the demand for that type of style of product and, color or variation that you got going.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I think if anybody had read the lean startup, right? You start lean, and then once you get the traction, that's kind of when you double down, right? Just to minimize your risk. And
Right.
I want to kind of share a quick story of mine is that I was, one of the products, I'm in beauty category, and one of the products that I was selling it's a silicone makeup sponge. And when we first discovered the product, it's the numbers were off the charts. Like it was like people were having no reviews and making like 20, 30 grand a month, and people were selling for $14.99 when we can source it for like $1. So I was like, damn, this is a crazy product. But I was working with a new partner of mine, and we took a little while to do the branding. Once we actually launched on Amazon, the price came down from $14.99 to like $6.99. So we're like trying to sell the product at break even right now. But we ordered 2,500 units, and right now we still have like 1,000 units left, and it's kind of a dead product. Like we sell about like 2 or 3 a day. But I hope that when Q4 comes, it'll push to like 5 or 10 a day. But even if you look up that keyword in Google Trends, it literally goes like straight up and then comes down. It's kind of like the fidget spinners or the hoverboards for like makeup, makeup category, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. You do only like small amount, test out the market, and then you order a big amount.
Right, definitely. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of new sellers are doing. They might like change something up about a product and just think that like, oh, that's my unique selling proposition. Like that is your unique selling proposition, but the fact that, people aren't interested in that unique selling proposition, you kind of failed because you didn't test the market and you don't know if people are going to purchase that product.
Mm-hmm.
And Amazon actually released a new, I wouldn't say it's a new feature, but it's called Amazon Insights. I don't know if you looked into it, but it kind of allows you to get information by data from previous customers in your niche maybe, and see why they bought your product. And you could actually ask like your own little custom questions, I believe. I haven't tested it yet, but from what I've seen, you could ask like your own question. And I think it's $3 a response. So you can literally ask like previous, buyers that purchased your product in your niche and be like, hey, if I bundled this product with XYZ, or if I change the color or the size on this product, would you purchase it? Mm-hmm. And then people will literally say yes, no. And then you pay $3 a response and you're buying data.
That's
and I
awesome.
think that data is really like, you can't put a price tag on it because, it depends how quick you get it. Because if you get like, create a prototype, for example, $2,000, and then you buy like 40 units, maybe you're out like $1,000. So you're $3,000 in the hole when you could just go ahead and ask previous customers on Amazon to, would they buy this product if it was bundled with this, or if it had this feature, if the price was higher, but it had this. And you're pretty much buying data. So I think Amazon Insights is a super, super powerful tool that's kind of underrated right now that I'm going to be testing if I do ever create like a unique product, or if I change anything up with like the shape, size, or material or color. I'm definitely going to go to Amazon Insights and ask previous customers in my niche to see if they would be actually interested in that, rather than like going ahead and buying a prototype and then buying like 40, 50 units to test the market that way. Because, you are maybe wasting $3,000 on a prototype in the units, but at the same time, you're also wasting like 3 months, to get that prototype made and then created and then shipped and then, optimize your listing and whatnot, when you could just go to Amazon's Insights and then pay for the data, pay the $500 to get the responses.
Mm-hmm. Now, for Amazon Insights, like you say, you never tested, but is it open to public, or like what is it?
Yeah, it's public. I mean, do you have access to it? I know I had access to it, and I'm registered with Amazon Vendor, like Central, and then Vendor Express, and they gave me. It's on there. I believe you just go to Amazon Insights and see. You could just log in there, and
Sweet.
You should be able to do it.
That's awesome. No, I'll definitely take a look into it. I've heard of this before, but I didn't really dig too much deeper into it. Now, I think one of the common questions that I get from a lot of new sellers is launch strategy, right? Like, how do I get my product on the first page? Do you kind of quickly want to share what you do? Just, you don't have to go in detail, but like, let's say if you are launching a new product tomorrow, let's say the 40, let's go from the start. Cause I think for you have 2 launches, right? The first launch is like kind of your soft launch, like testing out the market. Let's say if it does well, then you put in a big order. Talk to us about how you launched those 40 units, and then let's talk about how you launched those maybe 4,000 units for the same ASIN.
Oh yeah, for sure. So if I'm launching, let's just say the 40 units, right? So I'm testing the market. Like, I don't know if it's going to work or not. One of the main things I do is just to at least get like 1 or 2, 1 to like 5 reviews on there, whether they're verified or not. I really don't care. I just want those like stars on there. And, people do that through friends and family. Some people are against that. Some people aren't. But in my opinion, like, if you run pay-per-click, and I've ran pay-per-click towards listings that have 0 reviews, right? And it's, I think, the stupidest thing you could do, because like, I mean, at least when I did it, I just lost a lot of money, right? Like, I turned it on, I lost like $100 in a day just because no one bought that product. There's no like social proof that it works and it's a good product. So I think if you're able to get like 1 to 2 or 3 reviews on a product that you're testing on, a listing that you maybe have only 40 units with, get those like 1 to 5 initial reviews, and then from there just run pay-per-click towards, that type of niche and that type of category. And if people are interested in your product, like they were in mine, right? So I was running pay-per-click. I got 1 review on there, and then I was running pay-per-click, and I just sold out. I had 40 units, so it wasn't hard to sell out, but that kind of, determined the market, and I knew that the demand was there and the interest was there. Mm-hmm. So just my initial strategy is, if you're launching 40 units and you're doing a test order, is to get, nothing crazy. Don't do any type of crazy launches, or, give your product away for a lot of, like 80% off. just get, friends and family's my recommendation, get those reviews on there, and then run pay-per-click to test the market, right? That's what you do for 40 units. And then when I ordered the huge, container, what I did is I did a launch strategy. I did viral launch. I'm sure you've used it before. I mean, I think that's how I found it in the first place. I went to viral launch. I paid, I believe at the time, I paid $250 because I got a discount code, and I picked a keyword. And then from there, I gave away, I believe it was like 600 to 700 units throughout 7 days for one keyword. And then I just did the launch strategy. And then from there, I ranked on the first page for my main keyword, and I already knew that the market was kind of determined because I did it before. And then from there, it just picked up the organic sales. And I was still doing like Amazon marketing services. So I was doing like banner ads. I was doing a little bit of like retargeting for my e-commerce store. So, I got a funnel going. So I was doing a lot of that. So those are kind of the two tricks. I mean, the two tips I would recommend for people to do if they're doing like they're testing the market, or if they're doing, launching like 2,000 or 3,000 units.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that. But also, in terms of our launch, I use it a couple times, and what I realized afterwards is that it gets really, really expensive because of the fees. For, let's say you give away 700 products, and Amazon doesn't care if it's 99% off. They take their fees anyway, right? So let's say their fees is only $4, which is pretty low. That's still, $2,800 that is just down the drain. But obviously it's an investment. You're getting yourself on the first page. But David, I also noticed that you have a lot of videos teaching people how to use Facebook ads to drive traffic to their Amazon listing and stuff like that. Can you maybe, I'll link those videos down below so people can check it out. But can you maybe just talk to people on a high level in terms of like how that entire thing works about Facebook and like what the relationships are?
Yeah, so for the listing that I was working on, where I ordered the 40 units and then I ordered like the big container with a few thousand, I pretty much just did a viral launch. I didn't run too many Facebook ads or anything like that. But for my other SKUs, the active ones that I have right now, what I do is I like to discount my products at a pretty premium rate, so around like 80%. And a lot of people may argue with that. They're just like, that's a lot. I don't want to give my products away for 80%. Like, if someone leaves a review, it's not going to be a verified review. Some people are against it. But the way I see it, if you're running Facebook ads, you might as well discount your product a little bit more and make it appealing to the person that appears in their newsfeed, because that's just going to kind of increase your conversions, and you're going to have to spend less on Facebook ads, and you're going to see your results quicker.
Right.
Because, if you do like 10% off and you target people on Facebook to get your product, or even 20, 30% off, and they don't know like what your brand is, they don't know who you are, you're just giving away 30% off coupon, that's pretty common, right? Like that doesn't really grab people's attention, in my opinion. And I've noticed the best success if people discount their product at 80% off and just run Facebook ads targeting people that are like similar to that type of product and interest that you're giving away. And what I like to do when I do Facebook ads, I like to run it like a click funnel, right? So I set up a click funnel where people click on the Facebook ad or the offer that I'm claiming, the 85, 90% off, and they click on the link on the offer on Facebook, and it takes them to a click funnel. And on the click funnel, people kind of scroll through the page, and they have to enter their email address. So you collect the customer's real email address, which is, I think, super powerful, because you kind of build a list. And I think a lot of people struggle with like building a legit list without actually having an e-commerce site where they're getting sales. That's kind of a whole different story too. So just by building a list through ClickFunnels is super powerful. So you're getting leads, and on top of that, you're kind of giving away a coupon code at the end. Once people opt in, they see the coupon code, and then you have another link that takes them to Amazon where they could redeem that product for, let's say the 80% off. And that's why I do the 80% off, because people are, it's appealing. People are going to give their email address, they're going to go to Amazon, and they're going to redeem it. But if you do, 20% off, people, they'll click on your thing, and Facebook will charge you for the Facebook ads, but they won't convert. So It's almost like pointless. So I rather, take a hit on giving away my product for 80% and just pay those Amazon FBA fees maybe, and then lose a few dollars on the product itself, but make up for it in the front end or in the back end by getting those leads on ClickFunnels and those conversions and that boost in ranking.
When you collect the email addresses, how do you utilize them? How do you leverage the email addresses currently for your business?
So personally, when I mix the email address and I create lookalike audiences on Facebook, and I also add them to my email list, so I do remarket to them later on. So if I'm doing so let's just say Labor Day just passed. I had an email list of about 1,500 people. You know,
Nice.
I reached out to them. I added them to my email responder, and I added them in there, and I just offered like a 20% coupon code, and I got like 14 conversions because of that. And that was
Nice.
just like previous customers that I ran through a ClickFunnels, and I got their email
And that doesn't
addresses.
cost you anything.
Yeah, and that didn't cost me anything. And I mean, I had 1,500 people, but imagine if you have a list of like 15,000 people. Like you could easily do a launch on Amazon and give away your product for, let's just say, 50% off, 60, 80, whatever it may be. But you have that email list, and your customers love it because one, they're getting a product for like 50% off. Two, it doesn't really cost you anything because it's your own email list and it's there. It's always going to be there, and you're able to do it on and pretty much forever. You don't have to rely on services like Viral Launch or any like Market Hustle, or you're not going to have to run Facebook ads to it or anything like that. So I think like an email list is one of the most powerful things you can do.
Yeah, I mean, guys, imagine if you had an email list exactly like 15,000 people. Next time you launch a product, these are already your existing customers, so they obviously like your brand. But what if you send them an email that said the first 50 people who click on this get 90% off or something like that? And then right away, that's your next launch strategy, basically. And then you can offer the same, 50 units per day for 7 days. That's basically what Viral Launch does anyway.
Yeah.
And then you can get yourself on the first page without really having to pay any, third-party services for that. What would you say the best way to collect email address is, other than right now you use ClickFunnels to offer them 80% off. Have you ever ran any like giveaway contests or anything like that at all, or?
Yeah, so actually, so right now I'm doing a lot of the Facebook, but I actually did a giveaway contest there's an app called, pretty much through my Shopify store, but you don't need a Shopify store to do it. It's called Gleam, Gleam. And what it is, it's pretty much like a contest that allows people to opt in. They get like points. It's like entries, right? So if you like my fan page on Facebook, you get like 1 point for it. You get like one entry, like a token almost.
Right.
And then if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, or if you subscribe to me on YouTube, you get like a token or like an entry for that. And in order for people to actually do that, they have to sign in through like their Facebook account or enter their email address. So that's another great way to collect email address at a pretty cheap price, because there's two ways you could do it. You could actually run paid traffic, so like Facebook ads, to the contest itself or to the giveaway itself, like that Gleam landing page, or you could do it through Instagram. So what I did, I pretty much created an Instagram. I've had one for my two brands for quite a while. And what I did in the bio, I just put like, enter our free giveaway at the link below. And people would pretty much click that link when they see it, and they would just enter the contest. And there's softwares out there like Instagram. I don't know, there's a few others out there that you could link your Instagram accounts and you could automate them. So what they do is they follow, like, comment, unfollow people on Instagram. So it pretty much interacts with real users. And once that happens, people like click on your fan page and they're like, read your bio. They're just like, oh, this guy's giving away, a free fidget spinner or something like that. And then they click on the link and then they enter your contest and you collect the lead that way. And that's completely free. Mm-hmm. But, that doesn't get like a crazy amount of leads. With something like that, I was averaging about like two to four leads, like emails per day, using the Instagram strategy and Instagram. But if you do like paid advertisements through Facebook, you could, depends on how much you spend,
right.
You could be looking at anywhere from like 10 to 20 leads a day, right, if you're spending money on Facebook ads.
Nice. So talk to me about, do you have any experience with like influence marketing at all?
So with influencer marketing, I actually did do a little bit of influencer marketing on one of my products. I reached out to a few people through YouTube. I honestly just used YouTube. I had a VA. I pretty much had a VA go to YouTube, write in the keyword of my product, like just a relevant keyword that's related to my product on YouTube. And the VA went and he contacted about the first 5 pages, like the first 5 pages of YouTube videos. He went to like their profile page and contacted the people. It didn't matter what the video was. Like, it didn't have to be a review. It didn't have to be like anything specific. It was just keywords or videos that popped up from the keyword he searched. And I had a VA go in there and contact all the email addresses and all the YouTube accounts saying like, hey, I'm a new brand here. I was wondering if you'd be interested in reviewing one of my products in exchange for the product itself, and maybe like a YouTube video or like an Instagram post or Facebook. And a lot of people were interested. I had a lot of positive feedback, and I gave away, I think I sent out like eight items to influencers on YouTube, and I think 4 actually made the YouTube video and 1 made an Instagram post, and that worked very, very well.
Nice.
Like, I had a very good experience. Like, the videos that they made were like really cool videos. Like, they put a lot of time into them, and they got a lot of traction, thumbs up, and I saw an increase in sales as well that day.
Oh, wow.
Because like 2 of the people released the video on the same day, and I offered like coupon codes that were specific towards the YouTube channel, right? So the 4 people that made the YouTube videos, I offered like a special coupon code that I created in the back end of Amazon,
Right.
so I could track like conversions and see whose video and audience had the best like conversion rate, and I did see an increase in that, so that was very helpful.
Nice. I'm trying to contact some influencers as well, but not really having any good lucks right now. But I should probably try that strategy in terms of contacting some YouTubers and getting to make a video, and using VAs as well. Yeah, man, I think that's basically all the questions I have for you. But I guess to wrap up this call, I just wanted to maybe have you to share some of your, like, not motivational, but kind of not like tactics, but I guess what am I trying to say here? Like, what is the truth about Amazon, right? Like, let's put all these stuff. We talked about, Amazon insights, launch strategies, but you have to have the mentality to actually do this. You have to have the personality and the mindset to actually get all these shit done, right? So the reason why I created this YouTube video, I told you right off the bat, was because I feel like there's a lot of bullshit out there where people say, hey, you can buy this course, you can take this magic pill, and then if you take this course, you can quit your job and travel the world. But both you and I know that's simply not true. Like, how many hours a day do you work on your Amazon business?
Oh man, during the summer it was pretty much like 8 hours a day. It was like a full-time job. But now that I started school, it's a little bit less, obviously, because I kind of outsource things and I set it up in a way where I don't have to spend too much time. But like I said, man, I'm like a full-time college student right now. I just started my junior year, and my Amazon business, like, it takes up like right now 15 to 20 hours a week. And, I do have those 11 SKUs. I got the e-commerce site, the Facebook ads, the ClickFunnels, the e-commerce stores, the email list, the social media accounts. So there is a lot to manage, and there's like a lot of plates that I'm spinning by myself. But I do have like the VAs that are helping me out a lot. But yeah, man, all the courses out there that they kind of sell you this dream, like, buy my $1,000 course, watch the course, just buy a few thousand units, and you're going to be traveling the world with your friends, getting, with the selfie stick and shit. Like that's all bullshit. I mean, to an extent, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, it's an extent, like, but people have to realize that I've been doing this for about 2 years, and if I really wanted to, I could do that. I'm not saying that's like not possible, but it's definitely going to take time. Like, it's not like an overnight thing where you're just kind of going to like take this course, wake up, and then you're going to be traveling the world in like 3 weeks. Like, that's not possible. So for the people that are starting off, like, you're literally starting a business. Like, don't think of it as like some little side hustle that you're going to put like 5 hours a week in, and you're going to be able to do this. Like, you're starting a business. Ask anybody that started a business how many hours it took, like how much effort, like how many late nights and early mornings and weekends it took to start this. And it's all doable, man. Like, the stuff that they show, like, you could do it. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. And, my advice for those people that are starting out, like, you're brand new to the private label game, is put up 80% of the work up front. Like, if you could spend 100 hours doing private label, like, if you only have 100 hours, like, I really hope you spend more time doing this. Like, spend 80 hours, like 60 hours doing product research and finding, like, that product, the unique selling proposition, the unique market, the niche, and a good quality supplier. Like, spend 60% of your time doing that. And then, maybe the 20% or 30%, spend it, with the product photography, the optimizing, the copy, the sales. Because if your product and your listings, like, rate, like, the other 20%, the selling, the pay-per-click, the reviews, they'll come if you have the product. Like, if you pick that market, the niche, a quality product, and you optimize the listing, the infographics, the back-end keywords, the copy, the sales will come. Like, the other 20%, driving traffic to your listing, I don't think that's too difficult. It's really just comes down to, if you have a quality product, you will see the sales and the success. So put up 80% of the upfront work, and then let the other 20% just, happen. It's not that hard once you have that product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's great advice, man. I think Like for me right now, I haven't made a penny off of Amazon yet, meaning like I've never withdrew any money out of my bank account. Every single time I get paid from Amazon, that entire sum is going back into the business because guess what? I'm launching more and more products, and with more and more products comes what? Inventory, comes capital, comes all this stuff. So it's pretty hard. Like even if you sell $1 million per year, like it's still pretty hard for you to take money out. I mean, it all depends on what you want to do, how big you want to scale your business. But I think you and I kind of on the same frequency in the sense that we want to make it like pretty fucking big. And in order to make it pretty fucking big, you need to put some like money into the business. So that's why the truth of Amazon is, it's hard to take money right off the beginning into your own pocket and like rent a car or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm seeing the long term vision. I'm not seeing just the next couple months. But I wanted to end out this interview with one final question. Like, what is your motivation? Like, where do you want to be in, let's say, like you're 20 right now, but let's say you're 25, you graduate college and whatever. Like, what is that lifestyle going to be for you?
Right, so that's a great question. So that's one of the main reasons I'm still in college. Like, if I really, really wanted to, I'm sure I could drop out, maybe live with my parents for a little, pay rent, move to Chiang Mai or something, and be like a digital nomad and bounce around like third world countries working off my laptop. Like, if I really, really wanted to do that, I'm sure I can. But like, I'm all about long term and like diversifying my income and portfolio, right? That's one of the main reasons I'm still in college, right? Like, same with Amazon. Like, you want to diversify your income on Amazon and just overall business. And that's why I'm still in college, is to kind of get that degree, because at the same time, I'm not creating Facebook here. I'm not like, putting Microsoft together where I could like go ahead and drop out, because Amazon is very lucrative, but at the same time, like anything could really happen. Like, you don't know. And, 5 years from now, I'm 20 right now, 5 years from now, I'm going to have a degree, probably I'm going to have my bachelor's degree. And I hope to be full-time Amazon. Maybe I'll get a job once I graduate college to kind of save up more money. But, 5 years from now, I kind of want to have like that brand on Amazon and off of Amazon that could help me, make a full-time income. And from there, maybe I'll have some type of job or something. I'll be doing something else to help support me financially. Mm-hmm. But overall, that's kind of the long-term vision, is just to diversify everything and build off of Amazon and build more SKUs on Amazon, and at the same time, finish college.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, fuck, I wish I started Amazon when I was 20. That's all I can say. Yeah, that's sweet. All right, David. Hey,
late though, man.
Sorry?
It's not too late. You started at a good time.
No, I'm still young. But yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was our first time talking on Skype as well. But I'm sure we'll keep this relationship going, and we'll help each other out in any way, shape, or form, and just at the end of the day provide some truth to the Amazon game, to all these people that are starting off or whatever. And I'm gonna link everything in the description here. David's got a bunch of crazy content that he should really charge people for, but he's a nice guy, so he just posts it for free. But I'll link those below. I'll link his YouTube channel below, and if you guys want to check out some of his tactics and stuff like that, give him some support. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys want to see more of these type of videos, feel free to comment below, and then I'll definitely get more people on the show, and then maybe we can do a second interview with you maybe a year down the road, and if you expand your business, we'll talk about that as well.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Thanks for having me, man. It was great.
Awesome, bro. Okay, you have yourself a great night then.
All right, you too.
Okay,
have a good one.
Take it easy. Bye.